feel that I do paintings because of something that the Lord has done in me, which is to give me a desire to create, because He is the Creator God. And I have this within me that desires to create. And it's to create something that is beautiful and that other people will appreciate, which is exactly what God has done. He's created something which is beautiful and people can appreciate what He has done. I like painting things that God has created. As you see, the scenes at the back of me here are all to do with countryside, rivers, rocks, trees, grasses, flowers, animals, anything like that, that really conveys really something of God's creativity. Looking at my pictures, I hope that people will get a sense of enjoyment from looking at them. Plus, I remember painting a picture for a dear friend of mine who was suffering from ME, and she felt that there was very little hope, and I painted a picture of a scene in where I used to live, Bolton, and it was a bridge in a overgrown Japanese garden. And there was a gravel path leading under the bridge, and a faint sunlight shining from behind the corner. As you went under the bridge, you turned a corner and there was a faint sunlight shining, and she felt that it had a feeling of hope. Just around the corner there was sunlight. Just around the corner she was going to come into God's richest blessing, and she was going to be free from this terrible affliction. And I felt that my painting had achieved something there. It had brought hope, it had brought comfort to this lady. So yeah, as well as bringing some enjoyment from looking at the painting, I do hope that people will be able to see something in the paintings that will give them a sense of hope and of God's greatness. Obviously everybody can pick up a paintbrush and paint something that is recognisable, but a lot of the time it will be very childish and stilted, really. I believe that it's a talent given from God. It's nothing clever about being able to portray what you see on paper. It is not an intelligence thing. It's a talent that has been given to certain people by God. You develop your talent just as you develop your Christianity. Christianity is not a case of just stepping into the kingdom, accepting Jesus Christ as your Saviour, and then leaving it there. There is a development. It's, as our pastor continues to say, it's a work in progress in each one of us. And we are supposed to develop our faith, develop our walk with the Lord. And it's the same with art. You start off finding out that you have a talent and you have an appreciation of the things around you. But you then develop it, you practice your art, you learn new techniques, and eventually your art goes from one stage to another stage to another stage, developing all the time. When I look at God's creation, I'm a bit like the psalmist. You know, when I look at the work of your hands and the things that you've made, the stars, what is man that you're mindful of him? And this part of art is trying to portray something of God's creativity, yes, but knowing that you're falling far short of it. God is absolutely, how can I say, He's awesome. He's awesome in His development of creation. He's awesome in everything. And it makes me feel so humble. And I feel also humble that He's given me this talent that I'm able to share with other people. The colour that we use is, in any of the mediums that we do use, is a pigment colour that has got a binding agent in it. Oil paint, so obviously it's got an oil binding agent for a particular pigment. The same pigment is used in watercolour, and it's got gum arabic as a binding agent, and all the mediums have a binding agent of some sort, which is something that will hold the pigment together on the board, on the background that you're using. Because it's a pigment, it's a powder, and it's got an opacity rather than being translucent. It's got an opacity. God uses light for colour. That's an entirely different medium altogether. Without light, there is no colour. If you go into a pitch black room, there is no light, there is no colour. It's only what your eye interprets of the light that is shining off a particular surface. And God uses colours that have such a depth, such a translucency, that you can never reproduce on canvas. You can just not reproduce the sky. You look at the sky and at night, a sunset, and the depth of the blue and the depth of the pinks, and if there's any clouds about, the depths of the greys and even the whites, the depth is absolutely tremendous, and you could never reproduce that on paper or canvas. You do get something like, and people will say, oh, that's a good sky. But when you go outside, it is nothing like the real thing, nothing like what God has created and what God can do.